All right, my
So
brother.
what comes to mind when you hear Black with No Chaser?
I love it, man, because I think that it's a medium that we can speak truth and that we can have straight talk. And sometimes it's going to take straight talk to deal with our situation because we're in a nefarious crisis right now. And I think that we should have a platform that we can speak truth to the highest degree.
I mean, it's just being frank. It's just real talk. You know, when I see Black with No chaser, we finna get to it. It's the real deal. No sugarcoating, just right to it.
Being that you have such a reach, I thank you for putting me on, man.
For sure. And we always ask folks when they first come on here, man, because it's like a tradition. We started doing this the first season. We started, and the question is right there in front of you. You can see it. What comes to mind when you hear Black with No Chaser?
With no chaser, pure, hardcore, the real. You know what I mean?
The real.
Yeah, man. The essence, the real essence.
Welcome back to another episode of the Black Lunch Break. On today's show, we have Smile Natural Products. We've been talking to a lot of Black-owned businesses that are into the vegan lifestyle and into the natural products. And I think me and Cirilla are getting pulled over to the other side, but we don't mind that though. So listen, I hope you guys enjoy this episode, and I hope you guys tap into Smile Natural Products, which is a good toothpaste, Black-owned business, support Black. We're about to get into this episode. Let's go, because we're definitely intrigued. But it's a process unlearning certain things, and we all good though. We appreciate seeing our people at the forefront of it because it makes us want to get into it. So with that being said, let us ask this first question real quick. What comes to mind when you guys hear Black with No Chaser?
To me, I mean, that sounds like a state of just being unapologetically Black, not having to water your Blackness down so it's palatable for certain people, or necessarily worried about being politically correct. I just feel like it's speaking truth to the Black experience. That's what comes to mind to me.
I mean, for me, same, and then also just like a variety, like Blackness. There's so many different things. There's so many different shades and levels to being Black with No Chaser. So that's what I immediately think. I think about my Black. I think about his Black. Like all Black and all amazing, but like also very unique and different and beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yep. So I was like looking at the website because I think anytime we get a product, somebody sends us something, they're like, "Hey, look, gonna be a guest on the show." I always go to the website because I think the website is important. The website kind of informs you, at least on a facial level, right? Like what the brand is about. But when I dug into it, it was more of a lifestyle shift, and in terms of like it wasn't just about I wanted to sell some natural products because that's the fad. It was really like, they ain't nothing out there for me. So if they not out there for me, I'm gonna have to create the thing, right? And so like talk about that journey and like what it was like in the lead up to it, and kind of some of your like the thinking on why is it you want to turn your life over into this vegan lifestyle. We all know somebody's healthier, but what was some of the energy around like getting up to that point?
Yeah, I mean, when I founded the company in 2017, I was living in Brooklyn. I was probably 2 years and living in New York. I bought a one-way ticket to New York. Always wanted to live there, and was in the first couple of years of just really kind of living intuitively and figuring that out. And around about a year or so before I started the brand, I started a transition to vegan lifestyle, and it was just in general being more mindful of what I was putting in my body. I think really made me start to live a lot more intentionally about other things that I was consuming. And I originally started making a toothpaste because I just wanted to have something that didn't have fluoride in it, that wasn't toxic. I was living in Crown Heights at the time. it wasn't as gentrified as it is now. But at that time, it was hard you couldn't go to the bodega and get fluoride-free toothpaste. So it's something I did some research on, and I put something together. And initially, I was just just using a product for my personal consumption. I was also volunteering at the Urban League at the time, and they were doing a fundraiser to raise to get school supplies for the kids going back to school. And I came up with the idea of, hey, I got this toothpaste. I've been trying it out. Let a few friends of mine try it. They really like it. I'd like to sell this and use the profits to help with this fundraiser. And from that everything kind of, all of my things that I was passionate about that time kind of merged with this idea of creating this business. And it really started with the fundraiser. And I think that was just a result of me living intentionally. So I wanted to have that be reflected in our brand. I wanted to, living in Brooklyn at the time, seeing, trash and, not the cleanest neighborhood. I wanted to make sure this was something that wasn't going to pollute the community. So, we were intentional about making this a plastic free from the beginning. Understanding that 75% of products marketed towards, Black people contain toxic products. I wanted to be intentional about making it something that was toxic free. And then, just understanding that out of all the options out there, whether you're vegan or not, I think there's always safe, healthy, cruelty-free options that aren't going to infringe on, the livelihood of other people. So that was something that I wanted to make, a cornerstone of the brand as well. And we try to live by those, by those rules and incorporate those in every aspect of our business.
Dope, man. Appreciate that. And by the way, though, I'm a former urban leaguer myself, man. I worked at the Washington Bureau here in DC on some policy issues, and so so it's once an urban leaguer, always an urban leaguer. So I was like, okay, word, that's what's up. Anyway, back to interview.
So did both of you guys become vegan in 2017, or Shayla, were you vegan before he was?
I actually am not vegan. I choose a lighter meat lifestyle, like it just in general, like more fish, like just more not so heavy, because honestly my belly can't handle it either way. So but in 2017 I was just a customer, so I was like, wow, what is this kid doing? What is he doing over there? This is cool. Let me get my little tin of toothpaste. But it wasn't until last year during the pandemic, when your girl was jobless, where I was like, do you need help? Do you need help with anything? And then here we are. But I think that's kind of important, because a lot of people, I think veganism is very important, but it's not for everyone's body. So we want to respect that, but I'm still like, I want to be as toxic free as possible all around. For sure. So that's really my motivation.
I appreciate you saying that. I did a 10-day detox, and I was vegan for those 10 days. And that's exactly what I came out of the detox saying. I respect it. I really do. I think that takes a lot of discipline, but I also understand it's probably not for me. But moving forward, I have adapted new ways of eating certain things, and certain things I can't replace. And like you said, and Gina said yesterday on the show as well, like, there are other things that we could implement besides what we're eating that is cruelty free, like the oils and the toothpaste. Like, it makes sense. Like why should we continue to buy something so toxic like the fluorides, regardless of how used we are to it? It's important for us to slowly make these changes, and eventually we're gonna get to toxic free living.
It's a process. It's a journey.
It is. So
one thing
go ahead, bro. Go ahead, bro.
I was about to say one thing that I never understand is that, and I was thinking about this the other day. Recently, in the news, Washington Post put out an article about the Calumet public housing complex in East Chicago that was torn down in 2019, but condemned in 2016. But from 1985 to 2016, there was a massive amount of lead exposure to all the kids and folks that were living there. And it's so funny because I think about these like FDA approved like toothpaste and like things like that they know certain things are harmful to your body, but they allow these things to stay on the market. And traditionally, the people that are most adversely affected by it are people that look like us, they come from communities like us, and it's like, I'm hoping for the day, because the one thing I realized too is that much of the healthier lifestyle is more on the preventative side of medicine, right? And how we don't need to go to the doctor as much, or if we do, the checkups aren't as like fearful because you've been living a better, healthier lifestyle. But the thing is, I wish we can get to a place where all people can afford the healthier style of living, and it becomes the normal, and then the demand is increased. But in the so that way people can live the same quality of lifestyle, and we don't have to like really worry about, damn, if I'm getting organic. My thing is, like, if you sell organic over here, it all should be organic. It shouldn't be like, if I don't buy organic, right? Then you basically telling me that I'm living a less healthier lifestyle, but whatever you can afford, man, I hope you enjoy. Like, and it's just, that's terrible. That's awful, dog. That's what we think.
I think there's nuances to it also. And now more than ever, you got to really do your research. And even in doing your research, you got to understand like when to look between the lines. There are some companies who, they may lead with or sell you on a product that, sounds good or may have some healthy sounding ingredients, but in actuality, those ingredients may not have any functional benefits for you. So there's also an aspect to it to where this is kind of being promoted as to people who they call it greenwashing, making products seem healthier than they are or having certain benefits than they are through the association of more natural methods. So there's a lot that really goes into it. Now, I mean, there is more information out there now about these things, and there's a lot more communities, even on social media, that are popping up dedicated to educating people on cost-effective ways to live a healthier lifestyle. So yeah, but it does require a lot of research, on your part, because there's just a lot of misinformation out there.
Hell yeah.
So tell us about the beginning stages of you like creating it, because I know that you had to do all the testing and making sure that everything was copacetic. How was that process for you?
Yeah, I mean, it was fun. It was fun. I mean, I'm working with a chemist right now on our mouthwash. I'm not sorry, on our mouthwash, on our face wash that we're developing. And yeah, I mean, it's really interesting to me. When I first started doing the research, the recipe started with research on natural products that had the functional benefits of things that I wanted to accomplish. I wanted a safer alternative for fluoride. So I started researching different natural remedies that would help with remineralization. That's really the main thing that, cavity prevention, remineralization, that fluoride is touted as being beneficial for. So, I did different research. I found a research paper about cacao having a compound theobromine that actually remineralizes your teeth more effectively than fluoride. And then from that, I really started probably with a list of maybe 50 or 60 different potential ingredients, and then going through those and see how those would work together with taste. I mean, it was a fun process for me. And then my grandfather was actually a dentist also, so I got an opportunity to kind of reach out to him and consult with him a little bit on the initial recipe.
Network, hard at work, man. It's funny because like I be fighting with my lady about this the toothpaste thing. I feel like it's one of the biggest arguments really that we have sometimes. Like, we go to the store and we spend like an exorbitant amount of time like looking at toothpastes. Like, the other day we were looking at cheese and I was like, yo, because I'm like, it's because you really trying to figure out what is the best like product that your money can buy. And I feel like we always are left because of you may not have the connections, you not in Target yet, or you not in Maine, whatever it is.
Mhm.
And it's like how like, and that's why I love doing these kind of interviews to kind of bring more awareness to brands like Smile Natural, because like
Mhm.
that way you can see one, the people behind the brand, the love is real, the affinity towards community. And I want to talk about your community initiatives in a minute, because I think that's also an important part about the brand and what you all are doing. But you know, I just think about the times in which I'm sitting there looking at floss, everything as we go into my body, very sensitive areas
Yeah.
of my body that are very integral to my overall health, right? Like from my eyes to my skin to my mouth, and it's like, and you look around, you like everybody got the same ingredients, but it's just different marketing schemes and like mixing around words. You like, all right, y'all. So
Yeah.
this one just smell a little bit different. This
Mhm.
one over here is doing that. But to your point though, like you said, like they're greenwashing, right? They're using all this like which you would call it euphemisms, if you will, in the hygiene space to make things seem like there's something when it's really not.
Yeah.
And so anyway, I just appreciate y'all sharing that knowledge really quickly about green. I learned something new. See, greenwashing. See? Yeah.
Good shit. So, what was it like entering into the pandemic? What did the business scale during it, or did you like take a break? What happened?
Yeah. Pandemic was it's been an interesting ride.
Yeah.
And initially it was rough. It was rough at that time. I hadn't been in LA that long. So I ended up when I left New York, came back, actually got laid off from my job, and that's what kind of prompted me to go into the business full time, which was probably, in hindsight, one of the best things that ever happened to me. So after that happened, I was like, all right, my lease is up. I'm getting out of New York. I'm going back to warmer weather. Came back to California, stayed with my folks for a month, saved a little bit of money, and then moved up to LA. And I decided to open up a store. And this was probably pandemic had started maybe a couple months after I officially opened the store. So probably the worst timing ever. But in hindsight, it all worked out. So a couple months into my store opening, we had a fire at the store to things, and
everybody's safe. Everything was okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good.
Taylor wants to share.
I mean, that's okay. It's not funny, but I had incense burning.
It's funny. It's funny
now. It was not funny at the time, but so I had just started working at Smile Natural Products.
Oh my God, just started working, boy. Oh my God.
And so I'm in there, I'm like trying to make it pretty. I'm burning incense. I'm like trying to set a vibe. And your girl left incense burning next to the mud cloth, and the mud cloth caught on fire. And it just was kind of like encapsulated in its little space. But everything was black, and it was devastating. It was devastating. Oh. But a lot came out of it. We got a lot of support from our customers and our friends and our family. So that was fantastic. And it was good because we didn't really, to be honest, we didn't really need a store at the time. So that was our catalyst out of there. At that time too. Yeah. It was really cool to buy black. So people were shopping online like crazy. So yeah, we scaled exponentially. Nobody was ready. Like literally just did the thing and learned as we were going. Yeah, it was
but I mean, in hindsight, that sounds like bad timing and it sounds like it was horrible, but I mean, just in terms of
it's divine.
Yeah,
that's the way it was supposed to go.
Oh yeah. The overhead that we saved on trying to keep our business open during the pandemic, and then just forcing us to really forced us to evaluate, okay, how can we make this work? We learned how to operate our business in a more lean way. Our online sales grew tremendously, and now with that, because we have even a smaller team than I had when we initially started, and we're significantly more profitable in the process. So that it really gave us what we needed, I think, for this next stage of growth. And our business is probably grown about about 300% since the pandemic started.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's what's up. That's a blessing.
It
I mean,
is.
because you got so many folks. I mean, because we hear the horror stories, right? It's been 400,000 black businesses
Yeah.
alone, just black businesses alone, that have closed shop. Either they were already on their way to being closed or closed due to COVID,
Yeah.
pandemic restrictions, and economic downturn. And so to see y'all still like, building up and being pandemic proof, man, it just goes to show you though, it's a shift in this country around wellness too, right? Around how
Mhm.
people and what people want in their bodies and what they want around them. And people, I think during the pandemic, especially for myself too, and I found myself trying to dig in more into like the spiritual side of myself, the healing side of myself, the wellness side of it, and what that looks like. And so finding more, even if it wasn't vegan, but more healthier lifestyle choices. Because if you're going to be locked up in the crib all day,
Yeah.
I might as well be getting like myself right to some degree. And so that to me shows that the country and just around the world are shifting into another direction. What brings me to my question is,
Yeah.
do you think that once this dies down, that shift towards wellness will, and people get back out, will they go back to these lifestyles of well, YOLO, right?
Yeah.
Or will it be still centered around this wellness, plant moms and plant dad kind
Yeah.
of vibe? Yeah, you know what I mean?
We have
about
full
20
plans
behind
behind
us,
us.
but
I got 35 in my crib. I dip
yeah.
all over the place, man. Seriously.
To your point, I was going to bring up like now we have the time, or we're starting to deprogram ourselves from that rush of doing one thing, doing the next. Now we have time to think about our health and our wellness and things that make us feel good, and how to be better versions of ourselves. So I think that the pandemic was that's just the start to that. We had already started to bubble. The pandemic just made it even hotter. And like now, even once we get out of this, I like, if anything, more of a focus on your health and wellness. We just had so many people get sick and unfortunately not make it. So why not continue to focus on health, wellness, goodness, all that stuff?
Yeah, I mean, I think this kind of forced isolation for a lot of people has prompted a lot of people to go inward and to just be more mindful, blocking out, a lot of these external distractions. Really, I think has kind of boiled things down to really focusing on what's important. And that's family, that's taking care of yourself, um, not having the ability to go out on Friday night or go to brunch on Sundays and turn up and do all of that. You find alternatives, and then you begin, I think, to really, for survival, really begin to understand what's really important to you and what's really important for you. And I think that's something that I don't think you can really go back from. I can look at certain stages in my life where I've had to just kind of put my blinders on, or get on grind mode and really work on myself in order to survive the moment. And I think that's what a lot of people are in. And I don't get me wrong, I'm excited to to get back out and have a good time. But there's definitely some things that I've gotten out of this that are going to stay with me. As things progress.
Absolutely. Well, I don't know, see about jumping on, but I still want to know about the community initiatives. Being a community person myself, I think that like community initiatives are a huge important piece. At least for your brand, I can tell from what I glean. And so tell us more about that. What y'all got going on? What can we look forward to on the community side of things? And also, like, how can people pour back into the community initiatives as well?
Yeah. So one of the things that we're doing right now, we've been putting, learning from our own experience and what we were kind of facing in the beginning of the pandemic. We decided to launch a marketplace for other Black and brown owned businesses here in Los Angeles, called Our Piece of the Pie. We partner with some of our friends from a nonprofit called Black Out the Ballot. And every Friday, tomorrow and the following Friday, we'll be having a market where we showcase about a dozen local LA businesses. We rent out a space for them. We offer free COVID testing for the community. We're also collecting canned goods and blankets and warm clothing for the LA mission during the event as well. This is something we launched back last October. We took a little break for the holiday, and we've been back every Friday this month. Just promoting the event and creating a space for other local business owners to thrive and to get out and get in front of people, as a lot of their situations have changed as a result of the pandemic as well.
Amazing. And look, I need to. So this is like on air plug though, right? So I got a lot of folks. I think there's a lot of synergy around what y'all are doing, even out here in DC. But I feel like it's all across the country. And folks I know with people like the Wave and the Nihilist out here in DC, there's some real like true synergy that I feel like getting y'all in the mix and connecting y'all in a real way. As well as too, we got this thing. One of our partners, Rebuilding Black Businesses and Render ATL down in the South. And so like there's a lot of synergy or connectivity, if you will, to like what y'all are doing. And so afterwards, love to keep the conversation going. Because I think when you're talking about like our piece of the pie and like, community, it's so expansive and very fluid in terms of how you connect with people. And so again, man, I definitely want to connect folks where it makes sense. I think it's a big piece about the Black Lunch Break. It's like when you break bread with people, you share in a moment, but you connect at the same time. And so that's part of it. So yeah, for sure, connections will be made. Make sure we do that. Yeah, definitely.
All right,
Absolutely.
cool.
So before we get out of here, let the audience know how they can find you. Website, social media, all the above.
Love that. Social media at Smile Natural Products.
Go and follow right now.
Please do. Our website, feelsgoodtosmile.com. What else? All the things. We have a new Smile discount code for all of our newbies, so make sure you get that 15% off your first order. I would just say, kind of back to what we were talking about as far as how to support is just to continue to buy Black and Brown. Like, just support us by doing that, then we can continue supporting the things that we believe in and we love. Instagram at Smile Natural Products, feelsgoodtosmile.com. Hope to see you guys there.
Hell yeah. Look, I need to bring my cousin out in LA. When I come to LA, I'm gonna look y'all up.
Please.
And we could break some bread for real in person or something like that. Maybe even be cool to come down at one of those Fridays. So maybe in the near future, y'all keep us posted and we'll pull up and cover the event and give it even more coverage and more lift. So that'd be dope.
Yeah, we might have our new space open by then. So
you come by the store, all the things.
For sure, definitely. All right, then. Well, look, man, we don't want to hold y'all too long, like church folks say, man. Y'all go down from this place. Y'all be blessed, man, and see y'all in the near future.
Thank you, guys.
Yo, what's good, everybody, man? Look, we wrapping up, man, with the episode with our friends over there at Smile Natural. Look, if you didn't get in with Brian and Shayla, they're a dope, dynamic group based out in LA right now. But they're strictly e-commerce. And they got a lot of good things going on, community initiatives. And look, we want to try and find ways to connect with Black businesses and do everything we can to support our folk, man. So look, make sure you go in there, at least follow them. Do that thing, do that little bit of support and follow them. But look, man, make it extend that support a little bit further and go on to the website and check out all the products they have, man. I know myself, after this interview and hearing more about their product, I'm going to be going on there and copying myself as well. So y'all make sure y'all do that. Look, until next time, family, thanks for breaking bread with us here, right, with the Black Lunch Break with your boy Rillo and Sika, the usual suspects.
And as always, we think Black,
live Black, unapologetically. You already know, man. Stop playing with us. Y'all gonna stop playing with us. You're gonna stop playing.
Girl, what are you listening to? It really actually doesn't matter. What you listening to? No. You should be listening to Black with No Chaser Radio, clearly. So forgot about that. Never forget. Right. Never forget. My mistake. Black with No Chaser Radio.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Gotta get to the money. Same shit again on the money. Gotta get to the money. Same shit again on the money. Same shit again on.
Oh, I like this Black with No Chaser radio station.
Clearly, so.
I really appreciate y'all. This has been one of the most amazing interviews I've ever done. My job as one of the OGs, and my teachers will tell you, my teachers started Duke Ellington, the first class of Duke Ellington in DC. They were revolutionaries. They were street kings and queens. Glenda Dickerson, I got to give homage. Mike Malone, Peggy Cooper Cafridge, Skipper Driscoll, Charles Organs. Well, he's still alive, God bless. Charles Brown, who saved.
This is a human condition, right? This is a human suffering that we're seeing in Portsmouth, in Greene County, in SNCI, in Wilkinson County, all throughout this state, y'all. We've been focusing on Portsmouth, but we cannot forget about all the rest of our brothers and sisters throughout. Do we understand that?
Unapologetically black. I'm black, capital A, capital F. I love black women. Hennessy, Black with No Chaser.
What comes to mind is no cut cards. We're not holding back anything as black people, regardless of whatever the struggles, regardless of whatever pain, everything that we pretty much felt in 2020. Black with No Chaser represents we not holding nothing back 2021. Everything they said we couldn't get, we coming to get.
Really appreciate y'all. This has been one of the most amazing interviews I've ever done.
Oh, I like this Black with No Chaser radio